Have you ever noticed that when you try to stop someone from gloating, you end up creating a problem worse than the one you had before? Well, that's what the Loud siblings found out in the episode I'm going to talk about today. So join me as I, SteamTeamRedubUK, CC Trainor-Ling, bring you another retro review from past seasons of the Loud House. Cue the intro. Today's episode is Lynner Takes All. In this episode, the kids grow tired of Lynn's poor sportsmanship whenever she wins board games, so they plan to team up to finally make her lose for once, which only makes their problem worse. I can't necessarily say this is a horrible episode because the story did a good enough job of depicting how some people, mostly kids, take their wins and losses at games in such a way that it gets on everyone's nerves. That's what Lynn demonstrated in this episode, where she gloated excessively whenever she won a game and how she acted like a sore loser when her siblings froze her out during the Settlers of Catland, which also brought an end to her 300-plus game winning streak. The most I'll say about Lynn's performance throughout the plot is, even though being competitive is a big part of who she is, that part of her personality got cranked up to the point where it got super annoying real fast, and she became the most unlikable character of the episode. I mean, she even went outside to aggressively do push-ups and then angrily threw a trash can as her way of motivating herself when faced with the possibility of losing the game Lana picked out. Another thing I found more confusing than anything was how Lynn was able to beat Lincoln in an Ace-savvy trivia game despite barely knowing anything about the topic. Unless she started learning about the comic book back in the episode Pulp Friction, it seemed very unnatural for someone like her to clean sweep a game her brother should have easily won. I really can't buy into the whole Lynn getting in Lincoln's head and making him give the wrong answers explanation. So that's when everyone else decided to work together to ensure Lynn would lose the next board game, and they thought losing would finally shut her up, and yet their plan achieved the exact opposite. Lynn was so devastated by her loss that she started turning everything she did with her siblings, and I do mean every single thing imaginable, into a competition, making her more competitive than ever. By the way, it should be noted that the original ending of the toothbrushing scene depicted Lynn smiling with bleeding gums, but this was changed to one of her teeth falling out in the final product. One of my favorite moments of the episode was when Lenny literally threw the game out the window because that's what she thought her siblings meant when they were planning to throw the Catland rematch so Lynn could win. So that's when everyone reveals what they had planned for both the first game and the rematch, and they explain how it was Lynn's obnoxious behavior that made them do what they felt they had to do. That's when Lynn apologizes and vows to be a better sport in the future. The ending, I'll say, was at best a mixed bag. Yeah, Lynn acted very mature and level-headed in front of her siblings when she won a card game, but then she went outside and started celebrating in the same gloating manner she had done before. I know technically she's not doing it in front of her siblings, and they are at least appreciative of that, but at the same time, Lynn doesn't truly learn her lesson either. Everyone resented her because of her terrible display of sportsmanship, and yet she's still doing it in the end. I guess you could say she half learned her lesson, and I suppose that's better than nothing, but it would have been better if she had fully turned over a new leaf instead of keeping open the idea that she didn't truly change her ways like she had promised. Overall, this episode is still pretty good despite my obvious critiques of Lynn's performance. I still question how everyone throwing the rematch in Lynn's favor would have been a good idea, considering they were going to be faced with the unpleasant sportsmanship no matter what. I guess they would have been more willing to put up with competitiveness in just board games instead of literally anything else. Nonetheless, the story still did its job of teaching the lesson how it's never good to be an obnoxious winner and a sore loser, and for a very competitive character like Lynn, I don't think anyone else could have worked this kind of conflict better than her. After all, how many other characters could roll 3 10s at once and automatically win a pageant queen game when it was very obvious that she was going to lose unless she could pull off that statistical impossibility? Not too many, I would say. With that said, I give Lynner Takes All an 8 out of 10. Well folks, that concludes my review of Lynner Takes All. So I gotta ask, what did you guys think of this episode? Sound off in the comments below, and be sure to click that subscribe button for more Loud House related content. That's going to do it for me. I'll catch you guys for the next video, but until then, this is SteamTeamRedubUK, CC Trainor-Ling, signing off. Peace out, home slices.